A rich fuel condition sounds like something that should be good, right? More fuel means more power. Unfortunately, it is quite the opposite. If your scanner is showing you the code P02BF, it means your engine is essentially drowning in gasoline, specifically in cylinder number 10. This is not just a generic rich code. It is pinpointing a specific cylinder that is receiving way more fuel than it can burn. When this happens, your fuel economy tanks. The car might smell like a gas station, and you risk destroying your catalytic converters because raw fuel is being dumped into the hot exhaust. The Powertrain Control Module, or PCM, is constantly trying to balance the air and fuel mixture. It uses oxygen sensors to sniff the exhaust. If it smells too much gas, it tries to pull back on the fuel injection, known as fuel trim. But when the problem is severe, the computer hits its limit, usually around 25% negative trim, and it finally gives up and sets this code. You need to fix this fast because washing down the cylinder walls with excess gas can wash away oil and cause permanent engine damage. So, how do we track down the villain in cylinder 10? Since this is specific to one cylinder, we can rule out things that affect the whole engine first mostly. I usually start by looking at the fuel rail and the pressure regulator. If your car has a vacuum-operated fuel pressure regulator, pull the vacuum hose off. If gasoline drips out of that hose, boom, you found the problem. The internal diaphragm has ruptured, and it is sucking raw gas directly into the intake manifold. However, if that is dry, we need to look at the fuel injector for cylinder 10.I. Injectors can fail in a way where they get stuck open, or they do not close all the way, constantly dribbling fuel into the cylinder even when they should be shut. A great trick is to use a mechanic's stethoscope. With the engine running, touch the tip of the stethoscope to the body of the injector. You should hear a sharp, rhythmic clicking sound. Click, click, click. If you hear nothing, or if it sounds completely different from the other injectors, that injector might be electrically dead or mechanically jammed. If the sound test leaves you unsure, we move to electrical testing. You can use a tool called a Noid light, which plugs into the injector harness. It should flash rapidly as the engine runs, confirming the computer is sending the signal to fire. If the light stays on solid, it means the wire is shorted to ground, keeping the injector open 100% of the time. That is a wiring problem you will need to trace back. If the light flashes normally and the regulator is fine, but you still have the code, you likely have a mechanical failure of the injector itself where it is leaking internally. Before you throw parts at it, just remember to check the basics like your air filters and mass airflow sensor. But usually, a single cylinder code like P02BF leads you straight to the fuel delivery hardware for that specific spot. Be careful working around fuel. Always depressurize the system before cracking any lines open because that spray is highly flammable.